Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Messages from Heaven podcast with me, Medium Bonnie Page. I have a very special guest and friend today joining us, Jackie Nolan. And Jackie owns a beautiful crystal metaphysical store in Spring Hill, Tennessee, where I now live, and it's called Crystals and Coffee. And we'll have everything down below for you later so you can look up her shop. But Jackie is joining me today to talk a little bit about crystals. And this is kind of like a little bit about everything about crystals. So I really hope you enjoy it. And let's say hi to Jackie. Hello, Jackie.
Hello, Bonnie. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for joining us. I'm so happy. I love crystals. I've always loved crystals. My mom used to put a necklace on me when I was tiny. And this is not the necklace, but it was rose quartz. And this is a smooth rose quartz. And so wasn't the necklace. And I would just rub it. I mean, I was little, 4, 5, 6. And I would just rub that crystal. I love that crystal. And of course, um, rose quartz, the all about the love and the heart chakra, right, Jackie?
Right, that's right. Rose quartz is really good with connecting you with the emotion of love, the energy of love, and connects to the heart chakra. That's really amazing. What a wonderful gift.
And me as a little girl, I just must have, I love that feeling. I just love that feeling. I still have the necklace too. My mom did give it to me, so I still have it.
Wonderful.
Jackie, let's start today and let's just start a little bit about where do crystals come from?
So crystals come from the earth. I like to say that Mother Earth creates these crystals. Deep within the earth, there are veins that the crystals form in, and different crystals come from different parts of the world. And so we see certain materials come out of Brazil, and we see other crystals and materials that come out of Pakistan and China and the US. Um, so definitely. Um, there are also mines that we can go to and mine the crystals ourselves, but they are mined from the ground that Mother Earth has created. They each hold their own frequency, and that's what we connect to.
And so a lot of them, they have their own healing or properties about them. Every crystal offer has something unique to offer, correct?
That is correct. Each crystal has a different frequency, and the crystal of like rose quartz, the frequency is of love. And say, for example, the crystal of citrine has a frequency of abundance. So a lot of people like to put citrine in their wallet to increase their abundance in their wallet.
Oh, that is a good
Um,
idea. Everybody listen to that. Citrine. That's the color. I call it kind of yellowy orange there. I don't know if
yeah,
I have one. I do have one in my home, but
I do
yeah,
as well.
that's amazing. I was
I do
telling
as
Jackie,
well.
I love crystals. I don't know everything about them though. And so
I don't
there's
either.
so much to know. So, um,
Uh,
if someone was coming in your store, Jackie, and they were brand new to crystals and they walk in your store and they're like, "Oh wow, I don't know where to begin." What what do you say to them? What do you show them?
Well, first of all, I always tell people that we are our own best guide. And so if you're coming in the shop and you want a crystal, say, to help you with a relationship, I'll tell the person to think about that and then look around the shop and what do you notice? What jumps out at you? What pops out? and they will always pick something, and we will walk over there, and at the shop I have little cards that tell about the crystals and their properties and stuff, and we will read the card together, and it is always the exact crystal that they're looking for. And that's the best part, because a lot of people want to give their power away to somebody else and say, I need you to help me pick one. But you are your best guide and you can pick one. And if you're still struggling after that, or if you want to expand on it, um, we can help you choose a variety of crystals that say all of these can help you with that part of your journey. And then people can also choose from that. But really, we are our own best guide, and people are great at picking out their very own crystal for their own needs.
And that's so amazing that you said that. It's really about setting the intention too, like
Mhm.
what do I need? What do I need? Um,
Right.
I have a house full of crystals, and this is my, there's crystals all around here. But my 5-year-old grandson was like, I need that purple one, Grammy. And I said,
Yeah.
oh, the amethyst. And so when I went back to Massachusetts a couple weeks ago, I had a big one in storage, and I brought it back for him. And he said to me, amethyst, what does this do, Grammy? And I was like, because I know it's the most spiritual color, and it helps you spiritually, and but I said, you know what? I'll tell you tomorrow, and I'll tell you why I did that. I looked it up, and I looked at
Yeah.
how it could help children. And I was amazed where it said small children would benefit from having a piece of amethyst in their bedroom when they sleep at night, so they would have no bad dreams and a beautiful night's sleep. So I actually showed him that in the book. Look, this is what this can do for you. And he loves that because he has some vivid dreams and things. And so his mom put that big piece of amethyst right in his room for him. So see, even I didn't want to go into spirituality too much with a 5-year-old, but I wanted to find where it was going to help him because he knew what he needed.
Isn't that wonderful?
I thought
Like,
that was pretty cool.
that is very cool. I love working. I love kids. I love working with children. When children come into the shop, I always love to watch them and watch their reactions. And when they touch different crystals, or when they pick something out, and they just intuitively know, because as a child, you're still connected. You're connected more to to your higher
Absolutely.
self than as adults, when we're more than likely conditioned out of that sort of thing. So I love that with kids. And amethyst does connect to our crown chakra and also our third eye. And so
Yeah.
that's
I
a
just
that's
didn't
a
want
really
to tell
great
the
story.
5-year-old that.
I know.
But there was a beautiful, meaning for children. So I guess
Mhm.
what I'm saying is we set our intention of what we would like maybe some help with, either love or healing,
Mhm.
or anything that we need some help for, like you said, the citrine for your money, right?
For
I
the
mean,
abundance,
do
yes,
you have a piece of
absolutely.
that there? I think I see one in the back. I'm not sure.
Um, I have just a tumble, and it on the camera it looks kind of clear,
It does.
but
It kind
it
of
but
pushed
it is a piece of yellow citrine. And the funny thing is that citrine um is pretty rare to come from the earth in the citrine form. And so what occurs naturally is that the earth heats amethyst up to smoky quartz, and then it heats it even farther into citrine. And so what some people do is amethyst is abundant. It's all over. And people will dig amethyst out of the ground and heat it up, like the earth would, but they do it manually and they heat it up and then they sell it as citrine. And there's been some debate on if it holds the same frequency as citrine, and that's personal preference. But I believe that it does in certain circumstances. Like sometimes the citrine will turn a really dark brown color,
Mhm.
um, but other times it turns a bright yellow. This is looks really clear on the camera. Um, but yeah, you just have to watch for those things. And in the shop here, I label everything that I have that is heat treated as heat treated. And you really just, you have to be your own guide and research that before you make that purchase.
I love how in your shop there is a definition of every crystal right there. So you can go around reading all about them. And I think even where they come from, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, and it tells like the different zodiac signs that are associated with it and the element, and it has a lot of information on the card. And I send one of those little cards home with every crystal that people buy as well. And that was really helpful for me on my journey when I started collecting crystals, to remember, and even today to remember what they all are and what they do. Those cards are a really great tool. Very full of information.
So Jackie, you also do Reiki. You're a Reiki practitioner as well, correct? How do you use crystals to help while you're giving a session?
So crystals help to anchor our intentions. And so when we're doing an energy session, a lot of times there's a specific intention that we want to work with or release. And so crystals can help anchor that. They can also help to hold the frequency that we wish to align to. It's kind of like nature's little antenna or tuning fork. They have that frequency, and when we use them um, to help align our frequency, it's a really great tool to use in Reiki energy work and just everyday life, carrying them with you.
I was just
One
going
of
to
my
say
favorite
that.
ways are bracelets. Wear the bracelets, or pocket stones, put them in your pocket.
I was just going to say, well, one, I was going to say when I was giving Reiki sessions, I would put the color of the stone that related to each of the seven chakras. And that's how people can do that too. You know, the heart chakra can either be green or pink, or the different color blues, the yellows, the red. Um, yeah, so that's a way that you can even get a group of crystals and take them home and just place them on your chakras or around you, correct? You know, to help healing. You know, the chakras are our energy centers in our body, so they really coincide with that beautiful healing properties of the crystals. Um, let's talk
Absolutely.
about, yeah, go ahead, Jack.
I was just gonna say that they act as conduits for that energy. They don't replace our power, but they reflect it back to us. So
They help.
it's really great
So
to use them with your chakras.
using crystals in any holistic practice, even when you're doing a meditation, holding one, they are believed to influence our energy fields around us. So that's
Yes.
that's amazing. So healing is a great. Having crystals around for healing, with all their healing properties, meditation, and protection. Jackie, do you want to talk about the best crystal for protection?
In my opinion, the best crystal for protection is black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is a really, really powerful one for protection and for even cleansing your aura, keeping it clean. Um, a lot of people like to take black tourmaline and put it by their front door or Some people also take little pieces of black tourmaline and put it in the ground all around their house, and it creates like this protective aura bubble around your house.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so to me, that's probably the best one. Um, what's your favorite?
No, I had black tourmaline too. I actually was always making intention candles, and the one that I use for protection, I would put that stone in that crystal. So I was lighting a white light and then having a protection stone. And with that, you can always, add a little intention, like a little affirmation, right? So it's always nice to feel safe and protected and yeah, and calling in your angels at the same time, right? So,
Mhm.
there's just a little ritual there that you can do as well. So it depends on how much you want to get into it, but there's just so many
Right.
uses. Um,
Yeah,
Yep, love
definitely.
and relationships, they have the rose quartz. I have some little notes here, the rose quartz. Uh,
Yes. And
Healing.
green aventurine is always a great all around one for love and relationships. It's also really good for luck and abundance.
Yeah, I love that. I do. What do you think is the most popular crystal everybody goes for? Is that a tricky question?
No, I think it's rose quartz and green aventurine, with amethyst coming in a really close third as well. Those are probably the ones that we sell the most of.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, there's just so many choices. Those are the top three, I think.
So we've talked about coming into your crystal store and setting that intention and then letting your intuition lead you to the crystal that will help you the most because that's really what it is about, and then getting to know your crystals and what you can do to them with them. Um, and then tell everybody about how do you take care of your crystals? If I bought this at your shop, how would you tell me to take care of a crystal?
Well, you should be cleansing and charging your crystals for sure. When you connect with a crystal, when your energy is connecting, a lot of times you'll just intuitively know when it's time to cleanse or charge your crystal. But also, it's a good practice, like if you wear jewelry, to cleanse and charge them every night because they're out and about in the world and they collect like this energetic dust, if you will. You kind of just want to clean that off. Um, there are a lot of ways to clean crystals. You can smudge them with sage or Palo Santo or incense. You can cleanse them with moonlight or sunlight for some crystals. Some crystals, if they're in the sunlight for too long, they can fade. You can cleanse them with running water. Um, and again, some crystals don't love water, like selenite will dissolve in water.
Mhm.
And malachite is actually can be poisonous when to humans when it's wet. And so you
I
just have
did
to be
not
mindful
know
of those things as well. Yeah. Um, but those are some of the ways to cleanse them. And then to charge them, you can put them out in the moon. The energy of the moon will charge the crystals. You can simply put them out in nature. In nature, being outdoors like that can charge them. Some people like to bury them in the ground, even, and you can do that to recharge them. Um, you can also do something just as simple as like holding the crystal and setting the intention to
of it
charge your
to be
crystals, and
clear.
that can work as well. So there are a lot of ways to cleanse and charge your crystals, but that's something that should definitely be done for all the crystals.
And I
Well,
was going to
except for
say,
selenite. Now, selenite is super interesting because selenite does never needs to be cleansed or recharged, and it can cleanse and recharge other crystals. Yes,
I have a
see?
selenite knife, and that's just because I was kind of like cutting the cords of,
Yes,
right? So I bought the selenite um,
I have one as well.
knife because that's another whole conversation about cutting the cords of energy that's attracted to you and hanging on you. But you can
Yeah.
use selenite to do that. Um,
Mhm.
I would suggest that every time someone buys a crystal from your shop as well, that they take it home and give it their own energy. So cleanse it and then make it your own, right?
Absolutely. We are very diligent here in the shop about cleansing the crystals every day because everybody loves to touch them and feel them. And so
Sure.
they're depositing a little dust on all the crystals. So we cleanse them and I Reiki charge all the crystals every day
Now
with
tell
Reiki
everyone what
energy.
that means, charging with Reiki, because they might not know. Our laymen's out there might not know what you mean by charged with Reiki.
So, with being a Reiki practitioner, we have been attuned to certain symbols
Hmm.
that we use for Reiki energy work. And when you go into your Reiki, I like to say prayers, but they're Reiki prayers, and I'm connecting to that energy, and then I share that energy with the shop and using the different symbols with all the crystals in the shop, then I'm able to channel that Reiki energy and cleanse and charge all the crystals in the shop with that energy.
Which I'm sure they love. Now, making a crystal your own, um, some people, women, they put them in their bras or their pockets, or they put them by their bedside, or they hold them, like you said, because we're all energy. So then when we're holding a crystal in our hand, we're giving it our energy, right? So
Yes.
you want that crystal that you buy to be attuned to you, like one to one, and then it's going to feel like it's yours and it's going to work for you as well.
Yes, we want to give them a job to do. Every
That's a
time
good
when
way of
we're,
looking at it.
I,
I like giving
yeah,
other people jobs. Go ahead, here, do this for me. It helps. We can use all the help we can get.
yes, yes.
Of
And
course.
so, like each day when I'm intuitively picking the bracelets I wear, when I put them on, I'm just telling them, oh, I want you to help, heal my heart. I want you to help me um, make the highest and best decisions for in my life, and I wear the selenite to keep myself and my bracelets clean and charged. And I just give them little jobs like that to do, help guide me to my abundance and help me make sure that I'm following my joy every day, or if I'm doing energy work with a specific chakra because it's feeling like a little sluggish, maybe, then I'll wear some dragon's blood maybe to help my heart feel more open and
Now, dragon's blood is a crystal, correct, Jackie?
yes, I'm sorry. Yes,
I'm like, we
dragon's blood.
gotta
I
tell
don't have
people
any
what
on.
that is.
Yeah, it's nothing like that. It's a beautiful green and red crystal
And you
that
do
I
have a
love.
crystal necklace on today as well, don't
I
you? And
do.
I should have worn one of mine, but I do have a crystal ring on today.
I
So,
have a I have a crystal ring and I sell this necklace in the shop. We just got them in. It's a little green aventurine star, and I thought how perfect that is to wear right on my heart
so
chakra.
beautiful.
Um,
Um,
yeah, help
and
me.
let's talk about selenite as well. It recharges your other crystals too, as well,
Mhm.
correct? Like you
Yeah,
can
so
buy a bowl and place, yeah, there's a bowl, and you can place
this
your crystals in that.
yes. And so every day I have a bigger bowl than this at home, but every night I take the bracelets off that I wore and I put it in the little bowl overnight, and that helps to cleanse and recharge the crystals. And when I do Reiki work, I have this that I keep all my stones on,
Mhm.
and it's just a little selenite with the chakras on it, and
Mhm.
that cleanses and recharges my all my little stones I use for my energy work.
So just in case you're a busy person and you're like, I'm not going to remember to charge them or whatever. There's something for everything, right? And the selenite just keeps recharging them and cleansing them for you.
Mhm.
So my suggestion would be when you go into a crystal shop like Jackie's, there's always someone there like Jackie at Jackie's, it's her and her daughter. They know about the crystals as well. So it's so fun getting to know your crystals, and there's so many. We could never tell you today. I mean, there is a crystal for everything, and they're beautiful. They're just beautiful. So um,
They are really
I
beautiful.
would suggest, getting a little bag like Jackie sells and looking at a few, putting them together, putting them as a whole. Um,
Yep.
yeah, right.
Hmm.
Anything else that you can think of, Jackie, that would help people out there?
Um, Not that I can think of. We
Covered a,
touched on a
covered
lot.
a lot. We covered a
Yeah,
lot.
we did. We
But
did.
there's really nothing bad you can say about loving crystals. Just setting them around your house, outside, if they can be outside. You do have to know what ones can be washed or put outside, but it's all right there. They're pretty much pretty sturdy too. So, I mean,
They are very sturdy.
I
And sometimes the crystals will break, or you will lose a crystal, and people will come in and say, "Oh, what should I, my bracelet broke." And sometimes that can be that the crystal has served its purpose. It's done its job. Or it could also mean that it was overloaded with energy. We sell these little hematite rings like this. And that's really good for grounding and protection as well. And a lot of times people will say that their ring just broke. And I said, "Well,
wow.
were you really stressed out? Were you having was something going on?" And 9 times out of 10, it was something like that, and it will cause it to break. And you can, if you would like to repair the crystal and glue it, you can do that, or you can bury it and give it back to Mother Earth.
Or
And there are different ways, but sometimes that does happen. But for the most part, they're very sturdy and pretty hefty.
yeah. Well, Jackie, thank you so much for joining me today and letting everyone know a little bit about crystals. And there's so much more to know, but it really is you going in or being attracted to a certain crystal. You can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong with crystals.
Well,
I even have crystal singing bowls down there, as you can see. So.
yeah,
Jackie does
those are
that as well. So, Jackie,
yeah.
where can people find you? Because I know you have a website in case they want to look at crystals as well, correct?
Oh, yes. I have a website. I even have an app for Android and iPhones. I am all over social media on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. The I would say the easiest way to find me is to search at Shop Crystals and Coffee, and that will pull up all of my social media. I believe it will even pull up my app and my website. You can order online. We ship, or you can do pickup in the store. But we love seeing people in the shop and connecting with people and
Or
sharing stories. That's the best part of our day.
And so, what is your website? Is your website shop at Crystals and Coffee as well?
That's shopcrystalsandcoffee.com.
Isn't that a great name, everyone? And guess what? You really can get a cup of coffee at Jackie's. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. It's a beautiful shop. I've just been in it doing a couple of things since I arrived in Tennessee, but it's just like home. It's really beautiful, and the atmosphere is just serene. And you walk in, and it smells like sage and everything anybody, loves spirituality. You walk in there and you're like, oh, yes, this is the place.
It's like a warm hug when you
It
walk
is
in
like
and
a
you just
warm hug
all the
from heaven, right? A warm
yes,
hug
all
from
the energy.
and
Love it.
it's just gorgeous. So everybody, look Jackie up. If you want to look at crystals, go on her website and find that crystal for you because I carry them all the time in my pocketbook, and like I said, even children love crystals. So.
And we
Um,
love having kids in the shop. The kids come in. I have a bowl of crystals. It's just dyed quartz, but the kids love the bright colors. I give a free one to every kid that comes in.
oh,
It's
wonderful.
fun.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jackie, so much for joining me today. I
Thanks for
will
having me.
see you soon. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on the podcast. Um, I will put some links down below, and of course, you can always find me at mediumbonniepage.com. So, thanks, everyone, and be sure to
Appreciate you.
subscribe and watch the next podcast. But thank you so much, Jackie.
Thanks, Mom.
Have a great day, everyone.
Yes. Have a great day.